Exercise 16-19. We're going to be doing just the operating activity section for this statement of cash flows. And we're just going to do the operating activity section because that's the most complicated of the four sections. So it says the records of vintage color engraving reveal the following. Compute cash flows from operating activities by the indirect method for the year ended December 31st, 2024. Use a minus sign or parentheses for amounts that result in a decrease in cash and to show net cash used for operating activities. If a box is not used in the table, leave the box empty. Do not select a label or enter a 0. So the first section, cash flow from operating activities, always starts with net income, an accrual-based number. We get that from right here, so I'm going to copy and paste. So in case you don't have it memorized, what goes where, we've got our cheat sheet for the statement of cash flows. And here is the section we're working on, cash flows from operating activities. So we always start with net income, and depreciation, depletion, amortization is the next thing, and we add that. And if you forget why we add depreciation, you can always go back to this video to review it. And then we're going to back out our gains, if we have any, back out our losses, and decrease in current assets will cause cash to go up. Increases in current assets will cause cash to go down. And decreases in current liabilities, such as paying off our debt, will make cash go down, and the opposite for current liabilities. So the first thing after net income is depreciation, and notice depreciation is being added back in. So let's go see what our depreciation is. Depreciation is over here. We got 5,000, so I'm going to copy and paste that. Next on our cheat sheet, we need to check for gains and losses and back those out. So right here we have a loss on sale of land, $4,000. So because the loss reduced net income, we need to back that out by adding it back into net income. Loss on the sale of land. Because remember, when we sell this land, the cash that we received from that goes in the investing section. It does not go in the operating activity section. And just to remind you where to find that on our cheat sheet, we've got losses on disposal of long-term assets. The plus means we're going to add that to our operating section. We would also look for any gains in here on the table, and I do not see any gains, so we can move on. Next, according to our cheat sheet, after gains and losses, we're going to analyze current assets, changes in current assets. So looking through here, changes in current assets, here we go. An increase in current assets other than cash. So let's just go look at our cheat sheet. So again, it says increase in current assets. So an increase in current assets means we have to lower or subtract that amount from cash, and I'll explain why. So we got increase in current assets, 10,000. I'm going to put that as a negative and copy and paste that. So why are we subtracting from cash? Well, just think about it. Let's talk about inventory. Inventory is a current asset. If inventory went up, then we must have bought it. So that means cash went down. Next, we've got changes in current liabilities. So notice this one, decrease in current liabilities. We're going to subtract from cash. Well, that makes sense. If your current liabilities went down, that means we must have paid them off. And what happens to cash when we pay off a debt? Cash goes down. So let's see what happens for current liabilities. We've got a decrease in current liabilities, $19,000. So that must mean cash went down $19,000. And then that's all that goes in the operating activity section for the statement of cash flows. So we're done with that. So now what we can do is we take 5,000, add 4,000, subtract 10,000, subtract 19,000, and we get minus 20,000. And then we're going to take our net income, positive 36,000, subtract 20,000, and we get positive $16,000. So that means we had positive cash flow from our operating activities of $16,000. And that's good. And that's it.